Warning: radiation at unsafe levels.
Today we replace the LDK emulation handheld Rob usually plays with our unnamed knockoff. Do you think he'll notice the difference? This thing sucks! Hey there gamers, Retro Rob here, and today I have something very unusual for you, yet kind of usual. But I've brought you a lot of different stuff in the past. I've brought you emulators, I've brought you clones, I've brought you knockoffs, and I've brought you clones of clones. But today, I bring you a knockoff of a clone. That's right. It doesn't even have a name. The 333 games, I guess we call it. Maybe there will be something in the box. I don't know. Is a Famiclone made to look like the LDK, which, by the way, is still one of my main handheld game players today. So, yeah, this is gonna be pretty interesting. Really, it looks a lot like the LDK, but you can tell something's up from the first time you see the front of the box. Look at that beauty. 333 games. And it eats honey. Why'd they have to put the sticker on here? It really ruins the looks. Apparently it's gift worthy. The right side of the box is mostly cloudy. This set includes a console, AV cable, USB cable, and user manual. Hopefully it'll have the name on it. The left side of the box, 3.0 inch screen, 333 HD non-repetitive games. There's a joke in there somewhere, but I'm just not getting it. 800 milliamp battery, support AV output, more clouds. The bottom of the box has this awesome diagram. Very nice. The top of the box, recycle it, never ever throw it away. Made in China. The back of the box is boring, but, note this, look, see, it carries the theme of the clouds. Not bad, pretty classy. Let's open it up with a, oh yeah. Inside the box, you'll find one game console. This thing. Why is my camera at this angle? You'll also find this cardboard. Very nice, with a hole in it, so you can peek through. Sweet. We have one set of AV cables. They are that new style of cheap where they're made out of aluminum foil. These are pretty darn thin. They do have reinforced necks, which is pretty common now. Yeah. They're not amazing, not terrible. These are usually about 4 to 5 feet long. Okay, I just checked. It's only 3 feet long, so this is really pretty short. Next we have the charging cable, USB to micro USB. The quality's okay. It's kind of right in the middle there. I generally replace these. I buy these in bulk, like nicer ones, and generally replace them because these really have not been reliable for me in the past, but you never know. I mean, this one's not terrible, so your mileage may vary. Next we have a battery and a manual. It is the JP02 whatever. Oh wait. Yeah, handheld game console. So there's really no name for it. Let's take a look. That's some English. Actually, a lot of this stuff is from the box, isn't it? Some care maintenance. There's a reset function. If the game crashes, just reset. Yeah, that's good. And yeah, this is basically the generic. I wonder if they just cut and paste these and then put their own pictures in. I think that's pretty likely that that's going on a lot. Because sometimes there's stuff in here that doesn't even apply to the machine they're talking about. Let's take a look at it. I'm gonna pop the battery in right away. There we go. Jeez, tight fit. Okay. Looking at the front of the unit, it looks a lot like LDK. Look at that, I've already got thumbprints on it. Just like the real thing. The texture on it's pretty nice. The weight on it isn't too bad. In fact, the heft wasn't too bad on it. It wasn't like super light, even when it didn't have the battery in. D-pad feels like it might have a locking problem. We'll see how that goes. Basically what'll happen is when you press down one direction and try and go back another direction really fast, it won't move back because, see, well, the D-pad is just kind of locked in location. We'll see. Sometimes it'll feel like this and it'll be alright though. Okay, start, volume up and down, reset, I assume, A, B, X, Y, or whatever. They don't really have any labeling on them. Turn our attention to the bottom of the device, nothing to show here. Right side of the device, I was hoping for a space for lanyard, but nothing there. It does have a right button, a right shoulder button though. That's kind of interesting. We have micro USB, we have the AV out, got a left button, left shoulder button. It's interesting too, because I wasn't really expecting it, but they're probably rapid fire if history has repeated itself here. On off switch, not bad. And the back of the device where the speaker lies, which is kind of too bad because I prefer them to be on the front. LDK has the same thing though, and I don't hate it, so you never know. Alright, we're gonna power this thing on and take a look. Alright, here we have the fake LDK next to the real LDK, and the screen appears to be a little bit bigger on the fake. Sorry, this one went to sleep. Some other differences, the color pattern is slightly different. These buttons are slightly smaller, as is the D-pad over here. We have a start and reset, whereas we have the reset, I believe, is up here, and then the start and select are down here. I can't remember the order of the buttons, but there's 3 buttons on the face of this one and 2 on the face of the real one. If you look at the top, they're almost identical again. The shoulder buttons are a little bit different between the two. They're a little bit smaller on the fake one, but you can see that the thickness is very close, although, you know, like the power buttons and the AV outs are in different locations. The battery pack appears to be in the same spot. Yeah, all in all, they are very close, but there is no space for a lanyard on the fake, and there is on the real one. Not that I use a lanyard on this one anyway, though I should. Do you like the Saints Go Marching In? Do ya? Because you're going to hear it a lot on this system. Alright, volume control. This little button right here. That is as loud as it goes, which is plenty loud. It can fill up a room. It is very distorted at that level though. So, we've got off, volume 1, volume 2, outrageously loud volume, and then back to off. So there's not a lot of variance in the volume control. Okay, we got your Chinese, got your English. Yeah, that happens a lot. Here, I'm gonna turn off these lights so you can see the screen a little bit better. And off with you. There we go, much better. Less me, more screen. And we'll just play a little bit of RoboCop, which I'm gonna just immediately die at. Terrible at the game. I think I've done this before, yeah. So you know. Wait, let's give it some volume. I'm RoboCop. Don't I have a gun? I'm gonna punch people on motorcycles? Eh, whatever. Suppose I can't jump because I'm made out of metal. Anyway, it looks pretty nice, doesn't it? Very nice screen. Alright, let's go plug this into the big screen and see what we get. And here we are on the main menu of the fake LDK. We've got Chinese or English. We'll, of course, choose English. And we'll flip through the list of 333 semi-non-repeating games. There's a little bit of repeating here. Super Bear Brothers is Super Mario Brothers. Why they renamed it, I don't know. There's, like, not a bear in it. It just looks like Super Mario Brothers, so I'm not 100% sure what's going on with that, but, you know, whatever. There's also Super Mario Brothers later on, so I don't know. One thing I did notice is there's not a lot of shooters that I recognize here, or, you know, just like regular top-down shooters. I mean, there's Space Invaders and there's Galaga around, but there isn't like a whole bunch of the ones I'm used to seeing in there, like Xanax and stuff like that, or Xanic, or however you pronounce it. So that's kind of weird. But, you know, not a terrible collection. You can see like the excitement's kind of wearing off here. It's I'm suffering a little bit now with it. Also, I don't feel the greatest, so. But, yeah, it's starting to get me worried. I'll just say that. Because I think I recognize this ROM set, and I think there's some significant problems with it. Aether. We've played that. Spartan X. That's pretty decent. Got some Transformers. Finally Land. How's that pronounced? Is it like finally land? Or is it finally land? Where things finally happen? Don't know. No idea. Mad X-Mans. I think that's Mad Christmas, isn't it? Or Xmas? Which was, I think I've seen that game. It's like a hack, isn't it? Falling Blocks. Faded Pirate. There is some definite hacks in here. But there's some original stuff, too. By original, I mean, you know, like, not hack stuff. Some stuff that would have actually been released on a platform somewhere. Mirror Double World. It's interesting. And Bug Catcher. Pong Pong. That sounds exciting. Chess. There we go. Alright, let's start with the testing. In the interest of doing something different, we're going to try Dora Brothers. Oh, this is wrong. What the? Seriously? Alright, so this is just Mario Brothers. Yeah, but it's got a Dora block in the middle. Alright, so does Dora mean something in Japanese? Like, interesting. It's my big question of the day. Because I don't know why this block would be Dora. But this is essentially, yeah, this is just a regular old Mario Brothers from back in the day. Reskinned with, what is that thing supposed to be? I kind of assumed they'd have reskinned something with Dora the Explorer. Yeah, I said Explorer. But no, this is some creepy little dude. He's from another game. I think I recognize him. I don't know. Anyway, here's the good news. The buttons and the D-pad are working pretty well for this game. Let's go on. This is Toad in the hole. Because we don't want no freaking toads in no freaking holes. There's a right and wrong way to do this kind of game when you have a D-pad controller. The right way to do it is to map each of the holes to a separate direction on the D-pad. Meaning, like if I want this top hole, I'd hold up and press the button to hit him in the head. Or I would press down to get the lower hole. To get the corner holes, you hold up and right. The wrong way to do it, of course, is to have you move the hammer around left and right with the D-pad and up and down, so that you sometimes have to hit like 2-3 times to make it over to the thing you're trying to smack. That, of course, is how they did it here, which is disheartening. And so far as I have seen, there has been no freaking toads and no freaking holes in this game. Let's go on. And here we have Burai Fighter, which is named after, of course, Sir Arthur Burai, who invented the left-handed paperclip. Not a very popular product, kind of a strange thing to name a game after, but, you know, whatever. Do your worst. Here we run into one of the big problems with this D-pad, and it is that, in fact, it does lock. And by locking, what I mean is, if I press forward really hard and then press back, it just stops moving. And that's because the D-pad is basically locked in position and can't move anymore. So you've got to basically physically pick your thumb up off of the D-pad and place it back on to be able to move again. You can adapt your gameplay style to it, but there's really no reason why you should have to, because it's very easy to fix this. In fact, there's a couple of solutions out there, like putting a little bit of lift on the end of the D-pad, or the second thing, just putting some support in the center of the D-pad. So I really don't understand why this is still a problem. But on this game, it becomes a really serious issue. All right, let's go on. And here we have Super Bear Brothers.
You're gonna get us sued.
Yeah, I'm not going to show it. Alright, so we're taking a look at F1 Race, and already we know that something's wrong because it's just race with the F1 like 3/4 off the screen. And, you know, these ROMs, like good copies of these ROMs, are super readily available. And it does frustrate me that we get these crappy versions still. I mean, it costs them nothing to get these things. Just a few minutes could get a decent ROM. And there's other problems with this ROM, of course, which if you've watched this show before, you know what they are. And one of them, of course, is, look, we've got a phantom road on the right and a phantom road on the left. And I totally reversed those, but whatever. And this, of course, has the best of both worlds, because right after the first turn, the controls already reversed, and you notice how I just bumped into them. I didn't mean to, of course. It's just that when you go into a corner, the controls reverse. It is so easy to get the proper ROMs for this, and yet they didn't do it. So the F1 test, sadly, fails. Alright, so the Load Runner test. What happens with Load Runner is very often the buttons are reversed, making the game very difficult to play. And I am pressing to the left, and it dug to the right. And I'm pressing the right, and it dug to the left. So the controls are indeed reversed on this game, which is annoying as heck, and gives it a big old fail. And, you know, I really do try to, like, kind of stay detached when I'm playing game systems like this, because I realize they're only $20, but the problem, I guess, is that so many devices get this right, and this particular system had quite a bit of potential, and it gets it wrong. So that's another fail for it. All right, so this is listed as Hexapod War in the game directory. It is not Hexapod War. I'm trying to remember the name of this, but it's based on an Intellivision game where you start out as a little fish, and you keep eating fish till you get bigger and eat some bigger fish. It was also turned into a mobile game that was pretty popular for a while. I actually like it quite a bit. It's relaxing if you want to kick back and just, you know, enjoy a game for a little bit. This one's absolutely fine. If you require constant action, though, you might want to try something else. But, you know, not bad. Alright, so here's the Hexapod War I was looking for, and on this system it's labeled Hexapod War New. Anyway, I don't know why I like it. It's ridiculously basic. But I think that this game is a hack of a game that was made for the original Flashback. Now, if you don't know, the first Atari Flashback was shaped like a 7800. That Flashback ran no Atari code whatsoever. No original Atari code. It was actually a Famiclone, which had all the games basically rebuilt for it. And a lot of those games and a lot of the games that they made for it but didn't release on it because they weren't complete ended up showing up later on the Famiclone circuit. And I think that this is one of them. And I'm trying to remember what game it's a reskin of, but I'm pretty sure that this is one of those games just reskinned. No idea. Alright, let's try one more game and then we will get to the verdict. Alright, so this game's name was written in Japanese, so I didn't really recognize it, but I think it's what, 3 Eyes or something like that? And neat little platformer. I really like the graphics on it, and the controls work pretty decently. So that's good. Yeah. Not too bad. This next part I feel kind of bad about. I mean, are those puppies I'm shooting? Am I shooting puppies and getting coins? I would not even shoot a puppy for coins in real life. I'm sorry. Well, maybe if they were like those dollar coins. No, really, I wouldn't. Die. Just a lot of dogs jumping on me. Really, guys? Pretty sure I'm hitting them half the time and they don't die. But anyway, yeah, this looks nice. I mean, nothing too terrible about it. You get about a second after you shoot them. There we go. Before they make your life miserable. It's no JJ and Jeff, mind you. But not terrible. Let's get to the verdict. So, what's the verdict on the fake LDK, which shall remain unnamed because it never really named itself? Well, I like the general construction quality of it. It has a nice heft and feel to it. The screen is quite beautiful. The sound system is pretty decent. It actually has decent quality sound in it, except when it's really loud, although I don't think there's enough volume nuance there. Like the fact that it is using the latest in charge port, well, not the latest, for these, the latest in charge port technology, the micro USB. That's really quite nice. Its video output's pretty decent. I didn't see any bars or any problems that I see on some of the cheapest of them. However, things start having problems when you play it. The D-pad itself is pretty bad. It tends to lock. It's not the worst one that I've dealt with, but the fact that it does D-pad locking at all is ridiculous. This has been resolved for a very long time. All you have to do is put a little extra piece of plastic in the center of the D-pad. It's just a change in the mold. There's almost nothing you really need to do to fix it. So the only reason it would happen is because you didn't play test it. And speaking of play testing, it failed every one of the Famiclone tests. It failed the F1 test. It failed the Lone Runner test. That's pretty bad. It means they didn't really check the ROMs that they're using at all or do much in the way of play testing. The variety of games is pretty decent. I like the fact that they throw some hacks in there. I actually, if I get a Famiclone, I'm actually disappointed if I don't see hacks. So that's a big plus. But again, a little bit better control. I guess in the end, I'm kind of getting sick of seeing the same errors being repeated when they are corrected in another device that was made before it. I mean, if they're going to copy each other, at least steal decent ROM sets. And if you're going to steal a D-pad or the design of a machine, hey, follow up with the D-pad that works decently. So, all in all, this thing gets a mostly thumbs down. While it is playable for platformers, it is pretty horrendous if you want to try any shoot 'em ups, which they basically cured by removing most of the shoot 'em ups. Yeah. Bummer. Alright, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more. And I'll see you in a couple days. Bye!